To get started with Lab 7, we're going to do things a little differently this time. What we're going to do is we're going to go to My Programs, we're going to say New Program, and we're going to go down here and say Empty Program, and we're going to call it Lab 7A. Now what we can do is go to one of these other projects that we've got here, and we can just click on what we want. In this case, we just need the embed library. We can right mouse click and we can say copy. Then we can click on Lab 7A and we can say paste. When we say paste, it's actually put it in here, so we don't have to clone anything. We can just pick and choose what it is we want here. Next thing we want to do is say new file, and we're going to say lab7a.cpp, and that's going to create it here. Now we have everything we need except we need the digit display library. Where we're going to find that is by going back here, and under hardware we're going to select components. Now we have, it's a display, so we can check here, or we can go down here to where it says display, and we have a number of options. We've got graphic LCD, text LCD, touchscreen. It's none of these, it's under LED controller. So if we click here, we can find indeed there is our Grow 4-digit display, so we just click here, and of the two options we want to do, we want to import library. So if we click here, import name is digit display, it's going to say select path, so we're just going to slide down here to Lab 7A and click on that and say import. And at this point we have everything we need to work with the 4-digit display. We have these two files as well as our lab7a.cpp. First thing that we want to do in our new lab7a.cpp is to put in a programmer's block and also an include section. So far we've always included embed.h, but now we have to include digitdisplay.h as well. Now when we put in integer main void and put a couple of brackets, we can check to see if this part of the code is correct by just holding down Control and pressing B, which does a quick compile. And the success down here says that all of the syntax that we've got so far is correct. So it needs to have this include, needs to have embed.h included. We have to start looking at digitdisplay.cpp. This is going to have our class functions in it. And the first one we have to look at is this one, digitdisplay, to set up the pin names for our 4-digit display. So I'm just going to double click here, Control C, and go back to our program here, and up at the top after our include section we're going to put in digit display and then what we want to call the actual class name. So we're going to say segs, and then we're going to put in D2 and D3, which are the actual pins. And again, let's just do a quick Control B to make sure that we've typed that in correctly, so everything is good. So let's take a look at one of the other things that we need to do in here. So we have display on, we got display off, we got set brightness. So I'm going to set our brightness. Let's take a look at that. Now brightness itself has a value from 0 to 7. So we're going to just say set brightness, Control C. And when we go back to our program, what we have to do here is say segs dot set brightness, and let's give it a value of 7 to make it as bright as we can. And let's take a look at writing an integer. So we're just going to do write, Control C again. Let's go back to our program, and what we're going to do is say segs dot Control V write, and then we can put in whatever number we want. So I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to hit semicolon, and then I'm just going to say forever. Let's just sit here. And so let's see what the effect of that is when we run our program.